Welcome to subramani.com. Please click on the bell icon. I need more subscribers. Advising is far beyond knowledge. It is about wisdom and it is about having a lot of love for the people with whom you work, and therefore it is far more sensible to be choosy. Now, I get very chatty with anybody I meet, and longish Ola drives makes me talk to the driver. And normally, I talk to the driver if I am not on the phone. I talk to the driver about his personal finance. So here I met one driver, and he was about 55, 56 years of age, and as usual married very young. So his kids were all grown up, and he had three kids, two sons and a daughter. And so I got chatting with him and asked him, what do you do, and do you save money? He said, yes sir, I have three LIC policies for my three children, and all of them come up for maturity exactly when the children need it. And when my son's policy matured, he did not need it, so I have kept that money in a bank deposit. And he was very proud about what he had done. Now, I could have gone and told him, so my God, you should not be taking an endowment policy. What you should be doing is taking a term insurance and putting the balance in mutual funds over such a long period of time. You would have got 12-13% versus 4-5% which you got in a life insurance policy from LIC. Right? That is exactly what I am supposed to do as a financial planner or a financial coach or whatever. So I said, wow, you've done a fantastic job. So he was beaming. So he gave me more details. He said, oh, my friend is an agent and he came and he told me, therefore he asked me to buy this and blah, blah, blah. Now the question is, what I said is also right, that obviously he had got a suboptimal return. But look at this guy staying in a place called Cheetah Camp. For people who do not know Mumbai, this is a labor area, not exactly Malabar Hill. And the other alternatives would have been for him to drink away that money or put that money in some chit fund and find that the chit fund fellow had vanished. Now here this guy had created a portfolio close to 8-9 lakhs, and that was not bad at all coming from that place, and I am sure his neighbor wouldn't have that kind of money. So just the simple discipline of paying 400 rupees a month, 500 rupees a month over a 20-25 year period, yes, suboptimal returns, but no loss of capital, right? And government organization, so which meant he would always get a return, suboptimal, but he would never have to worry about that organization vanishing, going away, selling off and going to somebody else. So it's a very good product for people at that level of society, because he was told, I asked him, what did your agent tell you? He said, sir, he just said, you cannot afford to miss any single installment. True, he may have said it for protecting his commission, but it has stood this guy well. And over 25 odd years, he has been paying the premium regularly. May have been a small 150 rupees per month kind of premium, but yes, he has accumulated 8-9 lakhs. It's not bad at all. He's got 3-4 policies, maybe 4 policies. I didn't ask him for more details, but he said, today my agent told me iska 8-9 lakh milega. So I'm assuming he'll get 8 lakhs over a long period. Yes, suboptimal return, but something is got. Now, I'll tell you another case where I went to I used to visit a friend, and he would consult me. And so one day, with great courage, when I was sitting in his visitor's room, one young girl, maybe 26, 27, approaches me with her portfolio. And it was a pretty longish portfolio, and I said, what do you want me to do? So she said, no, I want you to tell me whether my portfolio is good. So I said, just get rid of these 2-3 and add something else. And I started by saying, you've done a magnificent job of creating such a portfolio. And she was not sure whether I was making fun of her, because here I was the expert who's written a book, who comes on television. What great. I mean, there was no way how she could have accessed me, or she thought it was impossible to reach me. And so after great difficulty, she asked her boss whether she could show her portfolio to me. So here was a huge barrier she had broken. And then I realized that she started working somewhere at the age of 17, 16, 17. She had interrupted her studies and worked there, and she would do very, very menial errand jobs like making tea and keeping the place clean, and slowly she upgraded herself to a peon that she could go to the bank and get some work done. The boss was a very nice guy, and then he had to leave Mumbai. So from there, she shifted to my friend's office. My friend compelled her, maybe she was just 20, 21, compelled her to start doing SIPs. So she had done SIPs, and she had done many SIPs. And that's how her life had started. So my typical reaction should have been to say, oh my God, you're unfocused. You've got 3 more funds and you don't need so many funds. All your money can be in one fund. In fact, that is exactly what she had heard from another expert. So she was very, very crestfallen that this is what happened. So, and I said, look, you've done a fabulous job of saving money. That is the skill, right? Investing, of course, is important, but the skill is in saving money. A kid who has come from a hutment, absolute hutment, she was not even in a chawl, she was in a hutment. And from there, I mean, imagine the noises she hears are drunken brawls, and she is not hearing discussion about how an SIP creates wealth. She has not heard any of the talk. She had no clue how much money she could invest. My friend was forcing her to invest. He's the typical guy who would negotiate a salary, and after negotiation of salary say, okay, now you should save $1,000. And when the candidate says, I can't save $1,000, it's very difficult for me to live in this salary, he'll say, okay, I'm increasing your salary by $1,000. So after the final negotiations are over, he would increase everybody's salary by $1,000 and put that into a SIP. That is what he was doing for a long time. So this kid also benefited by that. But she kept on putting more and more money on her own without his prodding, and 500 rupees, 1000 rupees here and there. So obviously she had more schemes than what was needed. So I was supposed to tell her she's unfocused, but I said, so this is important. What you realize later on in life is not just the knowledge, it's a question of how much love you have for those people who are there, whose money they are coming to you for advice. Don't hurt them with your advice. Don't say you've been stupid, you've been foolish and things like that. There are many times when you look at a portfolio and you say, oh my God, how did you get into such a mess? That's the truth. Some people have got into a mess because they've listened to too many people, but the way to convey it can be different. So my friend said my employee was beaming yesterday. What did you do? I said nothing. She's got a bad portfolio, but I said you've saved money. That is important. So now we will alter it. That's easy. It's easy for me to change one scheme to another scheme. That is easy, but it is not very difficult for me to say, out of the 9,000 rupees salary that you are getting, you have to save 1,000 rupees. Now, of course, she was getting about 22,000 rupees salary, and she was saving 7,000 rupees out of it. Not a bad number at all, considering her background, right? So the question is, as an advisor, of course, you need knowledge of the product, but far more importantly, remember your name is personal financial advisor. Understanding the person and giving the advice in a way that he or she doesn't get hurt is far more important than your knowledge. Thank you.